G'day everyone, it's Michelle J. Raymond back with another update to LinkedIn. That's right, they've given us another new feature. There's another change to the layout of your LinkedIn profile, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Why? Because I think it just makes more sense. And I also think that instead of pulling my hair out just because I can't find my content when I'm looking for a particular format, this actually solves all of those problems. This feature for me works really well, especially for people that are super strong in one particular content format type. So what kind of formats do we have? We have all text, we have images, we have documents or carousel sliders, the ones that we go like this. We also have videos. We have people that run events. So there's all kinds of different types of content. And now we have the ability to filter our activity. But the other thing to be mindful of is that these filters don't just work for us. They work for the visitors to our LinkedIn profile as well. If you're smart, you can also go one extra step and choose the filter that they see first. So be strategic around this. And I'm going to show you exactly the huge amount of difference that it can make just by making this one simple change. And I hope that after watching this, you're inspired and you too are going to run away, go to your LinkedIn profile and make this change to improve it. If we are going to grow our businesses using LinkedIn, we have to find smart ways to highlight our strengths. And this, my friends, is that. Hands down, it is the easiest, cheapest, fastest way that you're going to get a quick win today. So let's stop talking and let's jump across. Open up your LinkedIn profile and then you are going to scroll down. Depending on whether you've got creator mode on or off, your layout might be slightly different in a different order to mine, but keep on scrolling until you find your activity section. This is mine here. So you can see we've now got posts, newsletters, comments, videos, images, articles, events, and documents. And that is all there for me because I create all of those things through my LinkedIn profile. If you don't have all of those fields showing, it just means maybe you haven't created something that's that kind of content type. For instance, events, not everybody has run them. Traditionally, when you come onto a LinkedIn profile, you would see posts. And of course, we can scroll down, show all posts, and then we just get some of these smaller filters, which is fine. This new change, why is it different? Why am I so excited about it? So let's have a look at this. On my profile, I do a lot of LinkedIn newsletters. How cool does it look that I can show all of my previous editions and it keeps this little button here. So if you haven't subscribed, then it will encourage you to click that button so that you become a subscriber of the newsletter. Now, that's something that I'm focused on, that I'm trying to grow. So it's a priority for me. And as you can see, it makes it really easy with these thumbnails to pick up what each of the articles are about. So a quick tip for anyone that is creating articles or newsletters on LinkedIn, the fewer words that you put on these thumbnails, the bigger the text so people can, at a glance on a mobile phone, get what the actual article or newsletter is about, the more likely they are to click on it and read. And I think it looks great. The power of branding is coming in here. When you come to my profile, this tab is highlighted in green. That means that's the one that you're going to see first. Now, if currently yours is sitting on post, which is the default, you can come across to the pencil, click on the pencil, and it opens up these options for you. If I change it to videos and click save, you can see that now the default has changed here. Let's talk about videos while we're here because this one's an important change. Normally on LinkedIn, everything that we created was always horizontal, YouTube style. Now, what displays best in the activity section on LinkedIn now? Think YouTube Shorts, Reels, Stories, all those kinds of video formats are all vertical. With the rise of TikTok, it's not going away. That's how people are used to consuming video content now. So for the most part, short videos, make them vertical. Have a look at some examples. This is a vertical, and this is horizontal. If you're looking at this on a mobile phone, these are going to shrink. It's easy when they're on a desktop, but if they shrink even more, you'll see how hard it is to read the text that's on some of my horizontal videos. This is a recent change, and it's something that I think we need to start thinking about thumbnails, or more importantly, having a title card. And this happens on some of the other platforms far easier than it does on LinkedIn. When you're creating videos, best to go off and create them elsewhere and bring them back. What do I mean by this? I'm going to click on show all videos just to open this up so you get an idea. What we want to do is always encourage people to consume our content, but we have to get their attention. We have to get them to press buttons. That simple. Is it really? Not really that simple. Now, if you're going to have a look at this, you can see there's lots of black on my screen, but here's some things that will grab people's attention. Anywhere where they see my photo, anything that's not polished, like this particular first video, will perform really well because people will want to say, hey, what's Michelle up to? That's not what I normally look like in my videos. I'm more like this, black polo, hair all done, never have a hoodie, those kind of things. This one here that my friend John Lacey did after I was a guest on his podcast, when you see the text here, it's big, it's bright, the contrast is great, and it gives you an insight into what this video is going to be about. The more that you can give your audience insight, the more likely they are to click on it. Scrolling down, you can see the different videos that would pop out. Now, this particular one here is a great example of how you use the title card. So thanks to George and the team over at the B2B Playbook, they created this asset for me. And you can start to see with these big title cards, people know what it's about. Now, here's some examples of how I've done it. So secret page, invite credits. Content isn't social selling. People don't want to guess. And if they have to guess, they're not going to click on it. So big, bright titles, few words, give me an idea about what it's into, and vertical over horizontal. So you can start to see that looks really different. Want to know how active someone is on the platform? This one's comments. So imagine that someone can go and see every single comment that you've ever made. They click on this show all comments, it opens up. So no more great posts. Thanks for that. Be careful. You never know who's going through your profile. You never know who's having a look. Could be a potential client doing some research, which is what I'm always mindful of. Let's go across to images. I'm not going to say that images are my strong point on LinkedIn. I am not someone that I would call super creative, but I would also say at the same time, I understand the power of images and getting attention. Have a look at my images here. You can see it's a bit of a hodgepodge layout, lots of photos because that's mostly what I do when I'm creating images. I want you to see some of my branding colors, and you should be thinking about this as well. I can hands down tell you once again, anything that has my face in it always does better than anything that doesn't. Pretty much that's the way that it works. Why? We want to connect on a human level. You can see that they're not very polished. That's just my style, and it's a bit of a mix of everything that's going on here. Square, 1080 by 1080, 1200 by 1200 pixels, depending who you listen to. That's what works well in this layout. When you go the taller vertical, so 1350 by 1080 pixels, then you can see that just in the thumbnail, it cuts things off. Now, if I click on it and open it, it's okay. You'll start to see the rest of things. All is not lost. It's just how it displays on here. I'm sure that there's some probably creative people that have played on Instagram and they used to have those really amazing layouts. This is something that I think we should start to see some more of as people get more creative on LinkedIn. Let's talk about articles on here. When I have a look at articles, man, it's bringing back some of my older articles, which I haven't written any recent ones in a long time because I've moved everything across onto my newsletter. So that's where I publish my long form. But you can see this is my old branding. So I may even go back and update some of these things. We live, we learn, we evolve, and it's okay. You can go back and edit them, no problems at all. But Yeah, having a bit of a chuckle to myself because I'm just about to do another rebrand. And this is actually showing me just how far I've come. So it's been a bit of a trip down memory lane for me to be able to go back and have a look at some of this old stuff. So enjoy if you have the opportunity as well. Let's talk about events, LinkedIn Lives, LinkedIn Audios. These are the kinds of things, or you can have an in-person, face-to-face event and set up an event on LinkedIn. Doesn't matter what format, they all show on this events tab. You can see that the thumbnails go back to the standard kind of YouTube horizontal version. So for events, we're going back the other way. And I'm just going to click on show all events. What I find really interesting is this events tab also shows the replays of, say, LinkedIn Lives in this particular case. This one was a LinkedIn audio. It shows how many people you had turn up. So it's important to make sure you put some effort in, use those invites, get as many people to come as possible. I really should have made some kind of fancy carousel / document to show you on this one. It shows you my graphic design skills. I'm a much better LinkedIn trainer. But essentially, when it comes to documents, some people call them carousels. These are not being phased out by LinkedIn. That's a completely different thing. But essentially, when you have a look at this, you can start to see that these are square when they display. Now, they're quite big. You can see the power of these documents, and people, what they do is they scroll across, right, to the right-hand side. That's what we call a carousel. I said before that there is a default, which is on posts. Now, if you have a look at this, and I just have a quick look, these are my most recent posts that you'll see. Would you be more inclined to click on these? Or if I have my newsletter, these big thumbnails, best of the best, community generated content, like really pulling out some bright details and some thought leadership. I'm going to come back to it again. If you want to grow your business, you got to be better than your competitors and you got to think smarter. And then you've also got to wonder, how do I show off my strengths? If you're not great at images or document posts, don't have that as the default. If you don't post, but you do lots of commenting, then make sure that you make the default commenting. I want you to think about what makes me stand out. And that is always going to be probably your favorite type of content. There's always one that we fall back to. I'm going to show you some of my friends and how I think they should be using the activity section to show off the things that they're really brilliant at. And I'm lucky to be surrounded by lots of brilliant LinkedIn creators and creators in general. This first example is also my excuse to show off one of Australia's best photographers that will show you some of our amazing, beautiful landscapes. And I hope that you come and visit us at some stage and make sure you stop by in Sydney and come and say good day to me. But essentially, Paul is a photographer, commercial photographer of landscapes. Currently, you can see we've got these little versions on his profile because his default is posts. If I come across here to images and I'm going to click on show all images, have a look at that. This is more than Instagram worthy. It shows you that there's other images available. So these little number 8s in the corner. So if I was to click on that, it opens them up. And we can start to scroll across and have a look at some of his amazing work. Paul always gets my attention in the feed. But as a photographer, to not have this as your default tab, I think is a missed opportunity. Now, the other thing that Paul does is he also has some really amazing videos of things that us mere mortals will never get to see. Lots of stargazing and things like this. Start to see what potentials there are with these tiles and the way that things lay out. Having a title on these videos will entice people to click on them and find out more. Here's the thing though, when it comes to anybody's LinkedIn profile and growing their business, I'm not here to tell people unsolicited advice, go ahead and change it without first knowing what his business goals are. That is the first conversation that we always have. What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to reach? And what action do we want them to take? The other alternative that we've got on Paul's profile is also the documents, which is the sliders. And this is another great way that he has amazing photos put together in different categories. And you can start to see with these headings on them, we know what they're about, and then we can go in and see what other ones he has available. Now, if I'm Paul and I have this much brilliance, whether it's video, whether it's images, or whether it's these document sliders, Paul, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I think photo is probably going to be the winner. So that's me. A really simple change, a great improvement by LinkedIn that you can go away today, and with like basically 2 clicks, you can level up your LinkedIn profile and stand out from the crowd. So don't just leave it on the default settings. Look at it and think, how can I highlight what I'm best at? How can I show that to anyone that visits my profile and make it really easy so that they don't have to go digging around? They can find my strength and then go looking for other things after that. After you've done that, reach out, connect. Michelle J. Raymond. Let me know you watched this video and it was valuable. Give me encouragement to keep going. I appreciate all of you. Thanks to all of the subscribers. Welcome anybody that's new to the channel. Hope you enjoy, and we've got lots more new LinkedIn features coming your way. Cheers.